everybody, welcome to another video. This is Xeno Air, and today we're going to be looking at a video made by the Act Man. He just posted this let me take a look at the time, 1 minute ago. And it's about the hostile takeover that Elon Musk has done to Twitter, which he says in the title that Elon Musk is killing Twitter, because I have it here, but I also have it on the computer here, so I can look at information without screwing around with this. And that's, if I remember correctly, I've read and heard several times now that Twitter isn't actually dying. The numbers on Twitter of users has skyrocketed and is now higher than it's ever been for a few months now. So, now keep in mind there's misinformation. So maybe what I'm reading and hearing from loads of people is wrong. But then again, the other thing might also be wrong. Who's to say? I could be wrong, Ackman could be wrong. Either one of us could be wrong about this. But we won't know until later. Anyway, so let's just see what he has to say. Also, some people might think this is me being political or something like that. This has nothing to do with politics. I am simply talking about this because I want to talk about misinformation and whatnot. Because I feel like misinformation about a company buying another company, or someone buying a company or something like that, and them saying dumb things about the person or whatever, just trying to throw shade at people and stuff, that is not cool, okay? Now, am I a shill for Elon Musk? No. I could honestly care less if this venture works for him or doesn't work for him. I really do not care. What I care about is whether people are getting information right or not. I'm pretty sure I am like 100%. No, not 100%. I'm 99.9999% sure that what I am hearing is correct about the numbers with Twitter and whatnot. But anyway, let's get on with the video.
What's up, everybody? This is the Act Man here, and today, Twitter is imploding. Good. When Elon Musk first talked about
I mean, yeah, that he says that as a joke, but that's one of the reasons I really could care less is because Twitter is full. It's just nothing but a cesspool of narcissism, hate, and just general awfulness, which is why I don't do anything with Twitter, which is why I don't have a Twitter. Well, I do have a Twitter account, but I don't do anything with it. I think I've made one post on it, and that was it. It was just like, I made like one joke post, and then I've never touched it since, and yeah. Anyway. Shut up, Xeno, listen, no one cares.
Buying it out back in April, he spoke of liberation, of making comedy legal on Twitter. He promised to banish the bot accounts to the shadow realm, that he'd fight against misinformation and bring order and freedom back to this social media giant. And on October...
And another reason why he's been saying this is because he's trying to depoliticize. Because if you know anything about Twitter and its what's been going on with it internally, what has been going on with the company for quite a while now is just this overwhelming amount of, what's the word? Nazism. Not Nazism. Communism. How did I mix those two up? Because everything that's been going on, there have been people trying to just make comments about, they tried to starting conversations about guns and whatnot on the platform, and they've just been immediately banned from the entire platform entirely. Now, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, and yeah, I am, but just like, you even use the wrong pronoun, and suddenly, boom, your account is banned. Like, and all this other stuff, it's been stupid. The entire company has been leaning towards the left or the liberals. Now, I consider myself neutral when it comes to actual political issues, but banning people simply because they use the wrong word when talking to someone else on the internet, Come on, that's a bit overreacted, don't you think? Also, as if what I've seen about Twitter is correct, the amount of people that have been working there has been not necessary, because there have been loads of Twitter employees who have been showing what their daily routine is, and I'm just like, are you even you're not even working. Half the crap they do in these videos, they go to one meeting and that's all they do for actual work the whole day. You have a freaking yoga class at work? What? Why? You don't need that. Anyway, I'm getting up. I need to shut up and watch.
When the deal was finalized, I thought, if Elon Musk gets Twitter, what's the worst that could happen? It's been 2 weeks, and I'm gonna be honest, it has turned into a dumpster fire. I don't remember the last time I've seen a company of this magnitude plummet and fuck up so badly so quickly. The dumpster fire is burning, and it smells like trash. Who's the man that lit the fire? The negative effects of Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter have been resounding and immediate. Chaos is now our king. And, it's funny. It's funny watching things collapse like this from a distance. It's not good. But it is
stomach growling.
$44 billion on a company, and then 2 weeks later it's like, the bankruptcy for this company, that's a possibility.
Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
What? It's been 2 weeks.
Wait, let me back that up.
It's not out of the question. And then 2 weeks later it's like, the bankruptcy for this company.
Employees since purchasing the company for 44 billion said that bankruptcy was a possibility, according to a person familiar with the matter. So this is coming from someone else. This is not coming from Elon Musk himself. Until I hear these exact words come out of Elon Musk's mouth, I'm gonna be skeptical of this whole article. That seems rather, I don't know. It just seemed like familiar with the matter. Not involved, he's familiar with the matter. So I think this particular thing right here needs to be taken with a bit of grain of salt. Alright?
That's a possibility. What? It's been 2 weeks. You're talking about bankruptcy? It's not out of the question? That's why you're no longer president. 2 weeks. Let's do
Isn't that the guy who does the voice for Lego Batman?
I'm sorry. Can we stop the music? But before we jump into it, this video is sponsored.
Okay, let's just skip all this.
Combat game ever made. Step aside, Mecha Salt. No need to get your wallets out. War Thunder is free to play.
Hey, let me skip it.
2,000 different planes. Thank you, War Thunder, for sponsoring this
Blah,
video.
blah, 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 blah.
Something completely different.
I don't even know where to start on this topic. Elon bought Twitter for $44 billion, and the deal finalized on October 27th.
Correct.
Since then, it has been all downhill. Now,
No, it hasn't. There's no actual proof that shows that. That is something that lots of people have been deliberately saying just to try and throw shade at Elon Musk, like, oh, look, he's a terrible person because he's ruining Twitter, which Twitter did that to itself.
Elon Musk or not, I think it's pretty obvious and safe to say that Twitter has gotten objectively worse since his takeover. Although I'm not sure what I expected from a guy who
Why the lighting change?
XAE A12. When Elon...
What? No, okay, wait, let me Google that. That doesn't... There's no way he actually named his kid that. Elon... I haven't even searched anything up on the actual Google thing. it just popped. Well, and then again, Google's attached to YouTube, so I search stuff up on there. So, okay. So let's go. Elon Musk's son name. Let's see. Okay, so he did name one. Okay. Only one of them, though. I'm assuming these other kids are his... Or these are his other kids that it's showing here. Griffin Musk, Kaya Musk. It's such a weird last name. Every time I read it, I'm like, what, you got a stank? You know, reveals how... Two years... I mean... Yeah, that is a pretty weird name, I will admit. It's creative, I guess. I wouldn't have thought to name my kid that, but... Woo, okay, to each his own.
Came in, the first thing he did, clean house. Like Modern Warfare, baby. We're getting rid of you, we're getting rid of you. Boom, you're out of there.
Okay. Here's the thing. A lot of people don't seem to realize the reason he started clearing house like this, one, because Twitter did not actually need that many employees, as shown by how many weren't actually working. First problem with this argument of him being a terrible person. Second argument, that's completely ignored. These people almost immediately made demands about about everything. They sent him a list of demands that he had to follow. Their brand new boss. Just think about that for a second. New boss comes in and suddenly all the employees, well not all of them, but a large portion of them are just suddenly making demands of you and they're not even actually doing their jobs. What do you think you're going to do? I'd fire them. If one of them came to me with a list of demands after I had just taken over a big company, and they're saying, and they all signed it and stuff like that, and they're saying, oh, you need to follow this rule about trans people, blah, this gay people, blah, 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 and our community and how we do things around here, I would fire them immediately as well. I'd be like, you just signed yourself up to be on the firing list. You're on the chopping block, you idiot. That's their own fault. I don't feel bad for them. If you're dumb enough to make demands like that of your brand new boss, if you get fired, that's your own fault.
Big executives at the company were all fired. Elon then proceeded to lay off half of all Twitter employees, 3,700, roughly, within 2 weeks of this takeover. Now, I might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but I know when I don't know something. I'm smart enough to know when I'm out of my league and when I should seek the advice of other people who are smarter than me.
Well, sorry to say this, Act Man, but you're just taking everyone's word for it. You're just taking the most popular idea and running with it. You haven't even brought up any of the other side of the argument. Right? Have you even really done any research on this before you made this video? Act-Man? Huh? Have you looked at both sides of the argument and see what's going on with both sides of these people? Like, why these people were fired? There's legitimate reasons why he did what he's doing. So, yeah.
In certain areas. How do I change the oil in my car? Do I just hit it with a wrench like the video games tell me to do?
No, you take it for an oil change. Do you not know how to change your own oil there? Act Man, come on. Please tell me you know how to change your own oil in your... Oh my god, it's so freaking hot in here. Me too. Like the view? There you go. Let all the ice cold winter air in. Place is starting to stink anyway. That's a joke. Anyway. Woo. Nice and refreshing.
No, I go to a fucking guy who changes oil. Elon apparently does not have this
Wait, you don't know how to change your own oil?
Learning from people that know more about something than you, because after they fired a bunch of people, the next day they asked some of them to come back. Hey, you're fired. No, wait. What? How does that happen? You don't just fire people on a whim. What kind of job stability does that indicate when your new
I
boss is
don't.
talking about bankruptcy?
Wait, let me back that up.
Trait of, do I change the oil in my car? Do I just hit it? They fired a bunch of people the next day.
Let's see who might this. Multiple sources and Twitter blind chats. What the hell does that mean? Now saying that the company has begun to reach out to some people it laid off yesterday, asking them to come back. Whoops. Let's see if that is true. Let's Google it. That is not spelled Twitter. There we go. Lost users, blah blah blah, that's not what I'm looking for. Asked people to come back. Let's see. Many employees learned they lost their jobs after the access to company-wide email and Slack were suddenly suspended. The request for employees to return. Okay, see? Here's the thing that he doesn't realize. Many employees were company-wide system, email, and Slack were suddenly suspended. Okay? There's a difference between being suspended and being fired. Okay, being fired means you are kicked out of the job entirely. You're not allowed to come back, never ever. Suspended means you are sort of laid off for a certain amount of time to be evaluated. That, at least I'm pretty sure. Wait, let me Google that just to make sure I'm right. What does being whoops, that's not how you spell that. Suspended from work mean? Work suspension is a period in which the employer relieves an employee from their duties. On some occasions, the employer does not pay the employees their wages during the set period. See, they're not fired. That's a bit of a different. That's two very different things. Okay, that's two very different things. Okay, let's keep going.
Ask some of them to come back. Hey, you're fired. No, wait. What? How does that happen? You don't just fire people on a whim. What kind of job stability does that indicate when your new boss is talking about bankruptcy? Why would anybody want to work at Twitter right now?
Again, that we just talked about this, but it isn't a proven fact that they said that. It comes from a source who is familiar. You have even stated, Ackman, in other... I'm talking to him like he's actually here. In other videos that you have, like, this was other things with Activision Blizzard, when they were being said, there was a person familiar with the thing, and you actually pointed out that they were only familiar with it. Now you're ignoring that fact for this. Why? Why are you ignoring that, Ackman? Is there a reason? Do you not like Elon Musk? Like, why are you ignoring that very obvious fact that you pointed out in another video for something else entirely? I don't know. It just seems a bit odd to me.
You go back to a job that got new leadership and the guy was like, hey, you're fired. And then he was like, hey, come back, actually. Would you go back to that job? Honest question. What I don't understand is how you not realize what it takes to run Twitter before you make the decisions of who to let go and who to keep. You need to figure that out first, okay? The owners of NFL teams don't write the playbook for on the field. They pay guys to do that for them. Like, you can't just make these wide-sweeping, irreversible changes to Twitter and your staff and just wing it. The pattern we're seeing with Twitter is a series of rushed and not thought out ideas that are immediately implemented without considering the ramifications, and then they realize the hard way that they fucked up and then come up with this band-aid solution to fix them. In business, there's only one thing more important than make it better, and that's Don't fuck it up. This is what one of the original creators of YouTube said, and I think he hits the nail on the head.
I'm just going to publicly beg all Elon Musk meat riders to hop off his cock for just a few seconds.
Twitter be fucking with him, and I honestly can't tell if Elon is, like, intentionally nosediving this company into bankruptcy, or if he just thinks that he shit's gold. What I find so bizarre about this situation is just how fast these changes are taking effect. Elon will tweet something out, and then like 3 hours later, the change is implemented. And it's rough, and it doesn't work. He mentioned revamping Twitter Blue, where you could pay for the situation, is just how fast these changes are taking effect. Elon will tweet something out, and then like 3 hours later, the change is implemented.
Oh, what the hell? What happened to the quality? Okay, well, I can still read it. Going forward, accounts engaged in period must include parody in their name, not just in bio. Accounts doing parody impressions, basically tricking people, is not okay. How is he... To avoid confusing others about the accounts, parody, commentary, and fan accounts must dis themselves in both their account name and bio. Ooh, how is that a bad thing? That doesn't sound like a... That sounds like a great idea. Maybe I'm just a nut job. I don't know.
And it's rough, and it doesn't work. He mentioned revamping Twitter Blue, where you could pay for verified status for $8 a month, and then like a week later, it's here. You can pay for verification status now. It's like, wait, excuse me? Holy shit, that fast? Can we talk about this first? Company stocks are plummeting. Impersonation and parody status now. It's like, wait, excuse me? Holy shit, that fast? Can we talk about this first? Company stocks are plummeting.
Did Twitter Blue tweet just cost billions? Yes. We are excited to announce ensuing new... I don't know what that word is. Sorry, I'm not very good with words. Free now. Screw it, I'm Googling it. Insulin. Definition. Insulin. Okay. A hormonal produced in pancreas. A hormone produced in the Yeah, I spelled that right. What? That hormone made by the cell of the pancreas. Sugar blood moving cells. What the hell does that have to do with Twitter? I must have misspelled it. How did... INSULIN. INS. That's how... I'm very confused right now. I'll have to do some extra research on that. I'm not sure how that pertains to it.
Impersonation and parody account.
We've just overthrown the government of Brazil. We apologize to those who have been served a misleading message from a fake account. We have not overthrown the government since 1954.
Are running rampant. Half the employees are gone. We got rid of leadership. All the people with years and veteran experience with this platform are no longer there for us to consult. Elon's talking about bankruptcy, saying nobody can work remotely unless you have my express approval. It's like...
Well, that makes sense, because that was one of the many demands that the people made. Like, oh, well, we don't want to have to come into work. all right, you're fired. Goodbye.
Years and veteran experience with this platform are no longer there for us to consult. Elon's talking about bankruptcy, saying nobody can work remotely unless you have.
Musk orders all Twitter staff back to office in first company-wide email, and any exceptions will need his personal approval. Yeah, that makes sense. Because he had people demanding that they didn't have to come into work. That was on that list I talked. I don't know why I was doing that. That was on the list, the written list that they sent him, or the typed. It was typed list that they sent him. That the people he fired. So this is just basically a warning that if you don't come in and think you can work remotely without permission, you're fired along with those other people. That's all that basically is. At least that's how I look at it.
My express approval. It's like, calm down. Focus on one idea. How about that? All these fucking ideas he's doing right away on a whim. This doesn't work for a social media conglomerate as big as Twitter. Someone told me this, that big companies, big tech companies especially, are a giant ship, right?
Yes.
And a giant ship has a crew. They
Yes.
got people in the boiler room putting the coal in. They've got captains.
Yes, but if a crew or any other type of work has too many people working there, they're going to lay off people. And if those same people are making demands that they have no right to, guess what? They're going to be on the chopping block for being fired. I'm sorry, that's the honest truth. Sorry if the truth hurts your feelings, but that's just the truth.
Sure, who looks for land. They have navigators and people that lower the anchor. They have teams equipped to make sure the boat doesn't hit the iceberg. A boat that big can carry a lot of people and a lot of cargo, and the bigger the ship, the longer it takes to turn. If you want to avoid that iceberg, then you need to see it and adjust course well ahead of time, because it takes a long time to turn. Yes, Elon, the bird is free, and you've crippled its wings. For example, YouTube recently announced and told its creators that they're going to be monetizing shorts starting in February. It is November right now. That's a good period of time to figure out the kinks in how that's going to work before you just throw it out there and see what happens. You pay $44 billion for Twitter, and what's your plan? You're just winging it. And here's the thing, right? If Elon already knew who he wanted to keep and who he didn't want to keep, then at least, befriend them, be fake, consult the higher management on how Twitter works, learn how to understand it, pretend to be their friend, and then fire them. Like a Sith Lord would do. Hey, Future Act Man here. Turns out I was right, as this is exactly what happened. From a leaked Discord message with the Senior Director of Engineering at Twitter, he says, "This is going to be a challenge. The engineers I'm bringing back are weak, lazy, unmotivated, and they may even be against an Elon Twitter." They were cut
See?
for a reason, so we need to think of these people as just needing to be around until the knowledge transaction is completed. Once...
Thank you, Act Man. I was starting to worry. I was like, oh God, did you not know any of this? I was genuinely worried that you didn't know the other half of this story.
They learn what they need to from these people, they are gone. Once more, the Sith will rule the galaxy. They started selling verification badges for $8. All hell broke loose. This was not thought out. At one point, all verified accounts had this little official verification below it, and then an hour later, they got rid of that. And they've since brought that back for certain accounts because anybody could pay to be verified and then impersonate and parody anybody they wanted. Elon seems to be tweeting new rules the moment they come to his brain, without consulting anybody, without any regard for enacting these rules on a massive scale or what ramifications they might have.
That is true. That is true. I will agree with Ackman there. That is absolutely true. That is happening.
It's like, oh, new rule. It's like fucking commandments. Like, the new commandment is here. I, Elon Musk, changing that one, actually. The new updated commandment. Gonna change that real quick, and here we go, the final version of the commandment. Let's talk verification. It's important on websites like YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter for certain users to be verified. It's important to know who is who among us. Identifying a real content creator, government official, news source, publication, celebrity. It's not a match of Among Us. We need to know who is who. This isn't Among Us. What they did was they came out with this paid verification badge and then lumped it in with the current version so that people who paid for it were indistinguishable from people that had it, unless you clicked on their profile and then clicked on the badge and read what it said. But that's an extra step that wasn't there. So it just introduced mass confusion because people, it takes time. You gotta prep people on
what
this
they should have done.
Write out a fucking...
What they should have done is had like 2 versions of the badge, right? You had like the one that was an actual verification badge, and then like one that was like a fake verification badge type thing, where it's like a different shape or something. That's what if they kept it this way, that they should have at least changed like what the symbol looked like. That's just me thinking off the top of my head. Might have saved some confusion. I don't know.
Blog post. And if you want to have a paid subscription service that boosts people's tweets in the algorithm, it's like, fine, whatever, but make that a different symbol, right? Before this change, parody accounts...
Like I just said!
because they
Great minds think alike.
As were legitimate impersonations. Twitter started verifying accounts in 2009, okay? So, for the last 13 years, everyone has been mentally conditioned to see this symbol and think, yup, that's the legit person right there. And there's no question about it. So it makes tweets like this look legit. Yeah, you can fuck the Pokemon in the new one.
Okay, I will give him that one.
Coke is better. They finally settled the debate. It's finally over, man. God,
I mean...
They're gonna be evacuating from Twitter.
Wait, okay, funny story. This is just off topic for a sec. There was a story about an employee who worked at Coke that went out of her way to get, like, the secret recipe, whatever. She was plankton, basically. And then she contacted Pepsi to give... This is an actual true story, by the way. The story I'm about to tell is absolutely true. This actually happened. There was a whole court case and everything. She contacted Pepsi, and then they set up a meeting point. She arrived, and all she was met with was police. Because Pepsi, as soon as they were contacted with this, informed Coke, and then they both informed the police. Pepsi and Coke were literally the definition of professionals have standards, and this was crossing that line of having standards. So I just something funny I thought that came to mind when I saw that. Anyway.
And sell it back to you, LOL. 44,000 likes. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did that shit. He finally admitted it.
O.J. Simpson.
Melania, I swear to God, if you take away my Xbox again, I will deport you. How could you let this happen? How did you not foresee this?
I mean, it's confusing, but it's also kind of funny.
Brought this upon yourself. The company Eli Lilly sells insulin at inflated prices. For some, insulin is a life-saving medication/drug that is absolutely critical to their survival. For some reason, United States medicine companies sell insulin way higher than everyone else. And so one person with a dream and $8 in their wallet decided... Oh,
that was a medical company from earlier. That's why they were talking about insulin. I was confused. I was like...
their stocks. Apparently, they lost billions of dollars because of Twitter Blue. It is insane. That is so crazy. It's so crazy what happens when you don't think about consequences.
To be fair, I could honestly care less. Because pharmaceutical companies are humongous pieces of Alright? I'm just saying that right now. I'm just saying it like it is. They're sleazy. And I don't feel bad for them whatsoever. Right? At least the people at the top. Well, maybe a little bit for the little people at the bottom. But even then, they still can do something about like the really dumb decisions and bad decisions that the company made. Like COVID vaccines. I'm not against vaccines. But these COVID vaccines, they're screwing people up. Okay? Just saying. Moving
Countless
on.
people have also taken it upon themselves to parody the man himself. There is nothing better than waking up and enjoying a fresh, steaming cup of my own urine. Such a tangy way to start the day, and it's scientifically proven to help brain cells grow. If you want to be like me, drink your pee. Comedy is now legal on Twitter. H3H3 would test this statement by changing his profile picture and name to that of Elon Musk. He'd then go on to post numerous tweets critiquing and parodying Elon in a way that was very bold.
Yeah, so I've been permanently banned on Twitter. Thank you, everybody. Yes.
His Twitter account was banned 2 hours after these posts. Now, regardless of your opinions on Ethan Klein, whether you like him, love him, don't care, hate him, Elon is
Don't
not
even
making
know who that
his
is, but
policies
whatever.
clear. So when he says, yeah, parody accounts are okay, you just have to specify that you're a parody account, and then he bans parody accounts that do that, it's like things are changing on a dime. And massive accounts with such a huge following deserve at least some warning if they're about to get banned for parody and impersonation. I deserved a warning before I got demonetized, right? That's how I feel. Even if you're happy to see Ethan gone or you're sad, it's like that sets a bad precedent.
I
When
agree.
one man can just change the rules and then ban all the people he wants, and it's like that was so
Elon
fast.
Musk
2
is
hours.
Hitler
It seems
in
like
this
that there was a
situation. At least that's how people are
personal
painting him.
in an effort to
And
claim
Hi. Yes, so it cut out. You're probably wondering why it's suddenly been cut. Well, that's because the thing stopped recording because I ran out of storage on the device. Because for some reason it started recording the stuff to my internal storage and not my SD card. Why? I don't know. It's never done that to me before, but for some reason it was doing it now. So, anyway, let's get on with the video.
stitch together a solution, that being removing verified accounts from changing their name at all. For some, this is unfortunate. My verified notifications used to be a great way to track how my colleagues and fellow content creators and persons of interest were interacting with my tweets. And now it's a bunch of randos. Elon just can't stop coming up with new ideas. The old verified system will eventually be removed. Also, we're going to offer content creators 10% better revenue split than YouTube if they put the content on Twitter. What? You have fired your leadership, introduced and removed features that broke your platform. You are discussing bankruptcy. You have laid off half of your workforce.
Again, the
and now you're
bankruptcy
trying to
thing, I don't think that was
entice me
true.
to post videos on Twitter. You're not in the same business as YouTube. Twitter doesn't have the infrastructure to support large-scale video uploads. Twitter...
That is true. People who use Twitter for money, which I don't think there are very many of those people, the monetization system that Twitter has implemented, which they have one, at least if I remember this correct, maybe I'm thinking of TikTok, I don't know, but it just doesn't work as well as the way it works on what's this? Oh, sorry. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. It doesn't work as well as the stuff on YouTube with the ad happening before the video, kind of like a commercial break or whatever, like you did with TV. Which apparently I only recently found out. This is just another side note. Apparently Netflix, for the lowest paying subscription, you are now going to get ads in your thing. Which my parents, they heard that and got mad. I honestly don't really care, because Netflix has been teetering on going bankrupt as far as I understand. So them bringing in ads, which means that they're getting paid to run ads on their thing, similar to how YouTube does it, at least that's from my understanding, that makes perfect sense why they do that. Because if you're not willing to pay more money to not have ads, then they'll just give you ads, and then you'll be more willing. It's kind of sleazy, I guess, but yeah, it makes sense to me.
Is for memes, shit posts, quick thoughts, news, and bullshit. And Elon said this about it. Let's just get a bunch of content creators that we think are cool on YouTube and say, hey, would Would you consider putting your content on Twitter? And we'll pay you 10% more than YouTube and see how it goes. See how it goes? This dude is straight winging it.
Sure.
I'm pretty hyped up in this video. I don't know why. It's just so funny to me. But to describe the current
You don't
state
sound
of
like
Twitter,
you're
I
having a
found
good
quote
time. You
from
sound like you're
Colin
annoyed there,
Crowell,
Ackman.
the former head of global public policy at Twitter. It's a back-to-the-future reversion to content rules circa 2010, but one that ignores the lived experience over the last decade. People eventually realized that the Wild West needs a sheriff, both for ensuring the safety of citizens, but also for enhancing the prospects for commerce. Twitter needs a sheriff, and the new guy in charge hasn't earned his stars.
Jesus.
In fact, he just burned down the saloon. The platform has gotten objectively worse, more chaotic, complicated, and confusing since his takeover. Nothing has been improved so far. I'm enjoying the implosion of Twitter to a certain extent, but to be honest, I do love Twitter, and I am concerned for its future. It's a great way to quickly update people on what's going on in my life and to share memes, Especially since Facebook also laid off a bunch of employees, and there's talk of this recession coming around. It's not a good look. Elon's tenure certainly
So
has not inspired
2023 is
much
gonna
faith
be a
or hope
movie.
in the future
Did you see that at the
Twitter,
bottom of the screen?
nor his abilities to improve it, let alone stop it from burning. Buy some fire extinguishers. Slow the fuck down. Think about what you're doing. A massive ship can't just turn on the whims of its captain. Shit takes time to do right. And right now, Twitter may not be around for much longer. Who knows where we'll be in a year. But what do you think? Leave your thoughts and opinions on the
I think
Twitter
you're
situation in
overreacting.
the comments below. Don't forget to check out...
Okay. So, that's X-Men video. Personally, I think that's one of the more shitty videos he's done in recent memory. I think the only one that I didn't... Well, no, I liked basically every video he's uploaded. I agree with a large portion of his opinions and stuff like that. So this one is probably the only one I actually hate. Well, not hate, but strongly dislike. That's a better word for it. Good. I don't want anyone to think I'm bashing the Act-Man. This is just me putting my opinion, my shit opinion on the internet, and looking at fact checking them basically. Yeah. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, let me know down below. We'll see how well this video does. It might not even do that well. I don't know. But yeah. We'll see. Anyway, go check out my Discord. You can come say hi to me. Go check out the Patreon. Help support me, my family. Go check out my Wattpad. Got 3 original stories on there, and some other things like I got one completed story. Here, I don't remember the names off the top of my head. So the only story I have that's actually complete. It is 7 parts long. Takes 3 hours to read. I've seen longer, so that's what she said. She said, the book I'm talking about is When Worlds Collide. Is my most recent book. It is... So, it's a fanfic I wrote with one of my colleagues on Discord. If you have an idea that you'd like to write with me on Discord, go ahead, DM me. I'm completely open. Yeah. It's a Halo Warframe fanfic, if anyone's curious. I also got some original stories, and my favorite one that I've written is The Rise of Canada. I haven't completed this one. It's got 2 parts. One is the biography, the other is the first chapter. Because on Wattpad, you kind of put like a biography to give people kind of like a feel of what your character looks like, how he acts, and stuff like that. And maybe a little bit of story at the bottom of it. So people kind of get the feel for it, and then you post the first chapter. At least that's how it works on Wattpad. If you're wondering. And yeah. Anyway, enough about that. Links for all this are in the description. Link to this video and the Act-Man will be in the description and the pinned comment. Yeah. I'll also be at the end of the video. And hope you guys did enjoy. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.